Hello and welcome to Toothless Tesla. Today, I want to talk to you about city driving and demonstrate why speeding and running red lights are pretty much redundant or useless in this urban environment. I've been driving now for many years here in Hong Kong, and you learn a few things about stress and road rage, and also a few tricks to help you survive on the road too. So here you can see we are waiting at the traffic lights, and I noticed that many people, particularly those who are late and in a hurry, get really stressed out when waiting for the lights. What may seem like minutes to impatient drivers may only be 20 or 30 seconds, but nevertheless, this enrages them. In this case here, I was waiting for about 65 seconds at the lights, which is normal for a major intersection. Usually, most drivers arrive at the lights and wait for a portion of the full 65 seconds, so let's say 20 seconds. So it's really not that long a wait in most cases. Once you realize that there are many more intersections and traffic lights in a dense urban environment like Hong Kong, then having to wait should not stress you out, because there will be many other drivers waiting at traffic lights too. And if you have a bit more common sense and transport knowledge, you will realize that the traffic lights are coordinated so that they try to optimize the flow of traffic through the city. Because of this, running red lights make no sense in cities, because having only just made it through on a red light, you are likely to hit a red light immediately after, because you are out of sync with the green light optimized window of traffic flow. Plus, if you speed and run red lights, you run the risk of getting caught by the traffic police and then fined. And don't forget, there's also the risk of traffic accidents if you run red lights. So running red lights in cities just because you're late make no sense at all. Again, this is a major intersection controlled by traffic lights, and they are coordinated to optimize traffic flow through the city. I will be waiting at this set of traffic lights for about 70 seconds. For some drivers or passengers, this is way too long and their stress levels may dramatically rise. In this video, I will explain why you do not need to stress yourself out. Chillax. That's right, chill and relax. Everything is going to be fine. You can see that I am catching up to some traffic ahead of me, and you will notice that it is the taxi that ran the red light earlier. I have caught up to this red taxi because, as I said, that taxi hit another red light immediately after it ran the red light earlier. So this taxi has not gained anything from running the red lights. His cortisol levels, that's a stress hormone, and blood pressure may have increased, which is not something desirable or healthy. Next, I've just noticed the car behind me. This little white Toyota was being a little bit aggressive. You can see that I'm on the outside lane, and as soon as the solid white lines disappear, I want to move back into the middle lane. But the aggressive Toyota behind me accelerates to close the gap, and therefore I cannot get in behind the minibus. I am left with no choice but to increase my speed to get into the gap in front of the minibus. Notice that I signal and make my intentions clear. Also, I don't want to be a late lane changer. There's a taxi behind me who overtakes, and he is a late lane changer because we can see he wants to move into this lane in front of me and the other cars. You can see he is lucky the other cars ahead of me also changed lanes so that the taxi has space to move in. But is it necessary to be a late lane changer on this stretch of road? The speed limit is 70 kilometers per hour, but I notice that many cars do not move in. So I signal and move to the left lane, just in case anyone wants to overtake me by going significantly over the speed limit, which many Hong Kong drivers do. Behind me is the aggressive Toyota, which I thought would want to overtake me, but he doesn't. So after a while, I signal and move back into the right lane, which is my exit lane. So again, I hope you can see that the taxi now in front of me that was accelerating, overtaking and being a late lane changer has gained no extra time in his journey. He's gained absolutely nothing apart from increased stress despite his risky acceleration earlier. Running red lights and trying to undertake and speed on the roads will not help make up any time when you are running late. Here I am undertaking a slow-moving yellow truck. This is legal because I am travelling at the speed limit of 80 kilometers per hour, and the truck in the middle lane is obviously travelling under the speed limit and did not want to move into the slower left lane. There's no signal from the yellow truck. There are a lot of middle lane huggers in Hong Kong, and the traffic police do not do anything about them. It's funny to see the red taxi UP6115 accelerating and overtaking me again, but he really should know that it doesn't get him anywhere fast, nor does it shorten his journey time. If anything, the extra acceleration just wears down his fossil fuel car much more quickly because he has to also use his brakes frequently. You can see there is a red Tesla Model Y in front of me, and as soon as the lights turn green, just watch this red Model Y speed off and undertake other cars. Is this acceleration really going to help him move faster than me? Is his speeding really going to shorten his travel time? Let's find out. But first, apologies for sounding my horn. There was a grey Nissan 7-seater who cut in front of me. Now I'm getting in behind a grey Porsche who is actually going a bit slow. I think this Porsche driver either doesn't know this area well, or he or she is just not familiar with their car. In any case, my passenger is getting impatient and has asked me to overtake the Porsche and to speed just like the red Tesla Model Y we saw earlier. In my driving experience in Hong Kong, I obviously do not agree with the suggestion that I should speed and overtake, and you will see why in a few moments. The speed limit in the tunnel is 80 kilometers per hour, and the Porsche continues to go quite slowly at about 60 kilometers per hour. In any case, I have moved over to the right side lane and I have engaged autopilot set at 80 kilometers per hour. I am catching up with the traffic ahead, and the 7-seater ahead of me appears to be moving under the speed limit. In fact, the black Honda step wagon in front of me is moving way below the speed limit at 60 kilometers per hour. I don't understand why drivers like this in the outer fast lane only move at 60 kilometers an hour in an 80 zone. That's why I find, in general, Hong Kong drivers are selfish, unaware, and arrogant. Further ahead, I also spot the red Tesla Model Y, who, if you remember, had earlier accelerated far ahead of us. So why have we caught up with the red Tesla Model Y? All I know is that speeding, undertaking, and running red lights are no help at all in Hong Kong. And the evidence in this video demonstrates this very clearly. Rushing and running red lights do not help cut down your journey times in Hong Kong. And more often than not, the cars that you left behind while overtaking will eventually catch up with you. Again, the only thing you gain is the risk of getting caught by the traffic police and also the increased risk of causing an accident. So why speed? It's just not worth the risk. To conclude, the only way to ensure that you will get to your destination on time is to leave on time. If you already know you're going to be late because you did not leave on time, then no matter how you feel during the journey, when there will always be stops, starts, and slow-moving situations occurring, there is no point in getting stressed out or panicky. Just be calm and stay positive. Accept the fact that you are going to be late and chillax. And next time, just remember to leave on time. That's all for now. Stay safe and chillax.